From the east, house of light, may wisdom dawn in us, so we may see all things in clarity. From the north, house of night, may wisdom ripen in us, so we may know all from within. From the west, house of transformation, may wisdom be transformed into right action, so we may do what must be done. From the south, house of the eternal sun, may right action reap the harvest, so we may enjoy the fruits of planetary being. From above, house of heaven, where star people and ancestors gather, may their blessings come to us now. May the heartbeat of her crystal core bless us with harmonies to end all war. From below, house of earth. From the center, galactic source, which is everywhere at once, may everything be known as the light of mutual love. Ayum hunab ku eva maya imaho. Ayum hunab ku eva maya imaho. Ayum hunab ku eva maya imaho. All hail the harmony of mind and nature. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Health and Well-Being with Beata. I'm Beata, and I'm in my tiny house, 320 square feet of peace, love, and joy. Breathing in this beautiful new day, this beautiful March 27. Boy, oh boy, time is moving so fast. It's a 4 on the energy of the universe, 4. And in the village, this tiny house village that I'm developing and moving in for the last 10 years, there is so much to learn, so much to be, so much to transform. So that's why I bring you every Friday health and well-being news and knowledge to help you prevent disease. Yes, we're going to prevent strokes today. It's like 2 people in my life this week alone have mentioned people in their lives who had strokes. There's a 45-year-old man in a facility that, because he doesn't have any insurance, and he had a stroke that paralyzed his whole right side or left side. And his relatives and friends are having to go into this very poorly organized, managed facility to help him eat, do everything. So it's time, brothers and sisters, to just talk about prevention, because you don't want to be in the hell that this man is in right now. So let us welcome the village. And I'm going to play some different music, because all of a sudden the music I've been playing for my village introduction is copyright problem after 6 years. I don't understand it. But I'm just going to try this music I played earlier with my creating a tiny house village where I have been dwelling and rooming and moving for the last 5 or 6 years. So welcome to the village. So come on in to the village. That's my journey for the last 10 years. It's been heavenly, wonderful meeting people who have downsized their life and are focusing more on their health and well-being, which is why I'm here. So today we're going to talk about a medical issue, but can strokes be prevented? I'm going to tell you just how I would do it personally. And I have to be careful because, as a disclaimer, this show is not intended to replace any advice you may be receiving from your doctor if you're still seeing one. If you have an acute or a chronic health condition you cannot resolve on your own with wisdom, knowledge, AI, Chat GPT, internet, then please see your trusted health professional, someone who can help you. I'm available whenever you're ready. Just go to my website, yourholisticlifecoach.com. You can find out all about me and my experience. I've been in this business of holistic health almost 40 years now. Yes, I'm that young. My biological age is more like 40. Then I have this chronological age that goes another 30 years. But my biological, I can keep up with my 9-year-old grandchild riding his bike. I can keep up with just about anybody who's in their 40s for sure. Most of them are too slow. But if you want help from my experience and my education, go to my website, yourholisticlifecoach.com. But I'm not here to replace any advice that you may be receiving from any health profession doctor that you trust. Okay, that's the key. Trusting these people to guide this temple energy to better energy, better health. Okay, so I want to first of all, Dr. Suneel Dhand put out a video, I think it was this week, about pneumonia shots. It's like, what? And he was saying, you must take the pneumonia shot. And I'm like, I know he must be kidding. So let's just start off with one of my favorite. We're going to start off, not right now, we're going to do our joint rolling, but we're going to start off with Dr. Suneel Dhand talking about pneumonia shots, because that's what doctors, if you're seeing a doctor, they're going to push the pneumonia shot. That's what he is, as a doctor, is saying he's witnessing. We're going to talk about that. And then again, strokes everywhere. But let's do some joint rolling to stimulate this body, rev up the energy in this body. Because my friend Elitam Elamim, he's a breatharian. He does Tai Chi every day. Every time he puts out a video, if he's in Africa right now, I believe, again. He was in Florida, now he's in Africa. He's teaching the world how to eat less, become a breatharian, become your very best divine self. Takes a divine, powerful energy and emotional intelligence to be a breatharian and not have to have food as your drug, because food is a drug, believe me. If you haven't recognized it yet, it stimulates, it doesn't heal much, it just comforts, right? Like any drug. So he does Tai Chi all the time, standing up. And I realized the joint rolling that we do is really Tai Chi like energy movement, okay? Because Tai Chi or Qigong, I get them confused sometimes, but Tai Chi or Qigong strengthens your body in a way that is slow and progressive and strong and intentional. It moves every part of your body. And he usually starts off, my friend Ellie Tom starts off with neck rolling, because this is also a chakra center, a spinning wheel energy center. It's also galactic portals. Every joint in our body is a portal that opens up connection to the universe. That's what I'm learning every day. And so when we intentionally breathe in, hold it, let go, we are activating the portals. We activate these energy portals inside our throat, our shoulders, our heart chakra. All of these portals are, when we breathe in, that's a worshiping type action that gets the body, the cells inside on notification that we're about to do some worship here with this temple, this body. And that's why it's so important. This morning, I was watching the Female Solution, Sanibel, talk about with her guest the importance of working on yourself first if you want to change the world. And that's why we focus every Friday morning on ourself first with joint rolling, because This is not just changing the world, it's sending a message to the universe that we're connected and we're going to get help from this cosmic order of angels and ancestors and messengers if we consciously choose to do that. So that's what we do with joint rolling. We're consciously choosing to activate the powers within, but we're also activating the connection with the cosmos because we are a mini cosmic order here in this body. I get these amazing animated biological videos about what's going on inside on TikTok. I share them if you want to see them. They're amazing. They'll teach you everything you need to know about this temple. It's amazing. It's so timely. This is the education we should have in every school. It's teaching how the body functions inside, that we might have more respect for this temple and not put all the garbage that's out there in grocery store aisles. I walk down grocery store aisle, I just shake my head. It's total confusion. We think we need 3 meals a day. We're killing ourselves. That's why the hospitals are active and full and profitable, some of them, because we're killing ourselves with food. You go to a grocery store. America is great for offering choices and options and confusion. We got so much confusion in a grocery store. Just go to the produce aisle and get out quick. Don't go down the cereal aisle and the bread aisle and the candy aisle and the pharmaceutical. Stay away from the pharmaceutical. All these confusion creating in our body. That's why sickness shows up, because we're so confused. So let's just focus this morning on simplicity that will keep you healthy and energized. Because I don't eat a lot, but I have so much energy. I don't know what to do with it sometimes. I'm doing a puzzle every other day now because I have all this energy. What do I do with it? Oh, let me work on a puzzle. Oh, let me go for a walk. Let me go do some yoga. Because I don't eat a lot. I don't have a lot of food interfering with the energy that my body wants to use to help me create. That's what we are here to do, is create. So let us join together. Let's do some Tai Chi, some vertical Tai Chi. You can do it horizontally when you're in bed, because except for the neck roll, it's kind of hard to do this in bed. But Tai Chi and Qigong are excellent exercise movements for any age at all. Older bodies, especially, we don't need to be running marathons when we're in our 70s and 80s. Really, we don't. We can, if you're doing Tai Chi and strengthening exercises like holding your arms up for 3 or 4 minutes, this is strengthening the muscles in the arm and the body. We do these things intentionally. We're going to strengthen the whole body, and with our breath, just with the icing on the cake. So let's do breathing. Four in and four hold, four out and four hold, and let's do that a few times to just warm up the body. 4 in, hold it. 4 out, hold it. 4 in, hold it. 4 out, hold it. 4 in, hold it. 4 out, hold it. And 4 in, deep in, hold it. And 4 out. How are we feeling? Take inventory how you feel after that type of rhythmic breathing. If you have a pain and it's still there after that breathing, you need to keep breathing. That's what breaks up my inflammation, is just keep breathing in and out. And wherever the pain is, just tapping on the inner arm will help, or tapping gently on that pain, massaging that pain. Using your lymphatic drainage massage here. Especially if you have a sore throat, use these 2 fingers to massage your lymphatic glands in this area. get things moving out, the toxins, the bacteria, move it out, and then massage your collar around your collarbone to dump that stuff out into your kidneys and your colon and all those areas of your bloodstream, everything. When you massage around this collarbone, your lymphatic system gets activated and moves the discomforting elements out, bacteria or whatever is causing your inflammation. It will help move it out. So let's exercise this neck now, chin to chest, and let's slowly rotate and breathe in and out as we rotate the neck cosmic portal. Rotate, activating a cosmic portal on the neck area, activating your throat chakras. And let's reverse that. Breathing in, reverse it, getting ready for a new day to do whatever without pain, without inflammation. We are just loving on our body. And then we stop, we pause, take a deep breath. Ooh, feel the blood flowing. Then we want to activate our heart chakra area by rolling our shoulders around. Tai Chi movement with the hands. Bring the hands forward. Energy wave. All this, we're moving energy around when we do this, rolling the shoulders. And then let's go forward, breathing in. The body is loving this, loving this. Let me know how your body feels. And if you need to slow it down, slow it down. You're guiding this exercise, this motion, this love motion this morning. Breathing in, breathing in and out. Using your hands in a soft way to move the energy. And then if you do your elbows, this is another form of Tai Chi. You can rock side to side, flow with the elbow rotation. The blood is waking up, flowing, healing. This is such a good healing motion to get blood flowing and exercise the cosmic energy in your, and while you're doing that, just do your wrist and dog energy coming in. I have birds waking me up in the morning that are amazing. I'm like, what? They wake me up before the sun comes up, and I just lay there and listen to this rhythmic sound of birds. I hope you have that in your, there they go again. I hope you have that in your environment, because birds play a symphony for us every day if we're listening. And there they go. They're healing, very healing sound. When I get to my office, I'll open that door, but it's too bright right now to open it. So now we've activated our throat chakra, our heart chakra is starting to move with love energy. We want to go down into the solar plexus area, which is a yellow color, by the way. If you have any indigestion or problems in the middle area of your body, yellow is the color to eat and wear that will massage that solar plexus area and rev it up a little bit. So we're going to get on our back for this part of our Tai Chi movement. And we just want to activate the ankles. You can do the wrist if you want again, but mainly we're moving the ankles, which is part of the root chakra. The root chakra runs from your hip area and down to the feet. That energy is circulating all the time. And then we want to move activate our knees. Another cosmic portal, the knees. Be so gentle with your knee circulation, because if you haven't been doing this, your muscles are really tense, and that's how people have knee problems. They haven't been circulating, moving the muscles like this. Reverse that. Even when you're doing Tai Chi standing up, you can move the muscles in the knee by circulating the legs in a certain way. But just moving the muscles like this, or even straightening and flexing, bending. Just do it, because this is what strengthens your knees. When you strengthen the muscles, move the muscles, exercise the muscles. Just lay in bed every morning and kick the covers off and start bending the knees, bending the ankles, rotating the ankles. This is what strengthens muscles, moves your circulation, improves your lymphatic system and your immune system. Movement in general is going to do that. Now, hip, if you want to avoid those hip surgeries, again, you got to do some Tai Chi type movements, slow rotation, all the energy, your uterus, your ovaries, everything is being stimulated. The love energy is flowing when you're doing this motion. Try it every morning. Reverse, get in the morning. Start in the morning. If you can't, if you're not standing, just lay down and move this leg around and around slowly. Just wake up, I love you, and work those hips, because they're gonna work for you. When you work these hip muscles, when you're 70, 80, 90, they're gonna work for you. They're gonna help you stand. You don't have to be in a wheelchair if you've been working these muscles. Let's reverse that. Just remember movement of any kind. I have realized when I'm getting on and off my bike, this exercise has really helped me raise it, because for some reason the seat is higher than usual. But when I have to raise my leg to get on the bike, I realized, oh, that wasn't too hard. And my granddaughter, poor thing, she struggles with biking because she doesn't do any exercise, but we're changing that. But this is what's going to help keep all these muscles in here and in your organs in here healthier. Again, if you cannot rotate the legs, just raise, and you're laying in bed, just raise this leg, straight leg, and get the energy flowing down here every morning. Don't miss it. Wake up earlier if you have to. If you have to go to work, wake up earlier to do these movements so you don't get stiff and end up in a wheelchair. Oh, I've seen so many people in wheelchairs. My friend is moving into an assisted living place, and boy, they got a lot of wheelchairs in there, because I believe they haven't been doing these exercises. So you want to prevent that. We're all talking prevention a lot today. Grab those knees if you can. Give your spinal cord a massage. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Woo! And swing over if you can. Let's come to a sitting posture again, whatever way you can. And let's give your vagus nerve, your tree trunk. This is the tree of life. We want to love on the tree of life. Warm up those hands, place them in the back of the neck, and woo, squeeze and release. Breathe in, squeeze and release. Squeeze. This nerve will send energy all the way to your feet. If you're doing it correctly, you feel the energy going to your feet. Breathe in, and release. Breathe in, and release. Breathe in, and release. Let's just tap down, give some love taps to the body. The body just wants to be touched. If you don't touch your body, it gets real lonely in there. And there's a sad energy that shows up if you're not touching. Around the breast, give around the breast, touch, squeeze, touch. Don't be afraid to touch, and especially around your navel. Rub the navel. Your microbiome has trillions of friends down there. They're all friendly, really. They just have different jobs to do. We think we have enemies in our microbiome. No, they're just friendly functional organisms. And then give your don't forget, back here is your kidneys and your adrenal glands. Every day, just love on them, because they do a lot of work managing the feelings and the emotions that we're putting out these days. Love, 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 love. And here we are. How are we feeling? Give me some comments if you're feeling different or good or bad. Just tell me how you, after you do these motions, these movements, how, ask yourself, do I feel better, worse? Then you might need to slow down a little bit or move a little faster or just be still. Sometimes being still and breathing. Always get the breath going first thing in the morning. So thank you for joining me this morning. Let's get busy and learn a little bit of how to prevent strokes, because I'm just hearing too many people have not been preventing. They're just, once you get the stroke, it could be a hell ride from there on. And so I want to just share Louise Hay, especially her advice on strokes and how we can prevent them and be more conscious of what causes them. So I'm going to put on a little music while we go to the studio. So we heard the rhythm of the Native American flute and drums. That's my heritage. Part of my mother's side is pretty much 99% Native American and Southern Illinois, and all fair skin, straight hair. That was my mom's side. And my dad was all dark skin, nappy head, New Orleans from wherever. But it's all in here now. And so I'm grateful to have guests like I had this Wednesday. If you missed, I had a beautiful guest where we talked about all the things that we have learned growing up in Chicago and the mixture of energy from our ancestors. We are very blessed to be here today to share the wisdom of our ancestors, mothers, fathers, grandparents. Today, let's talk about preventing strokes and pneumonia shots. Let's start out with Dr. Suneel Dhand says we may need a pneumonia shot. Really? Do you need a pneumonia shot? This is the wisdom that Dr. Suneel is going to bring to help clarify so there's no confusion. If you're still going to your doctors, this is the type of information they're going to bring you. And so I want to share his wisdom about this. So we're prepared. Let's be prepared. If you're going into a doctor's office, this is what's going to happen.
Absolutely essential. In fact, the pneumonia shot is absolutely essential. In fact, it may just be the best thing since sliced bread. Of course, that's not what I really think, but I want to share with you a pretty crazy story, which really is emblematic of where the medical profession is. Of the pneumonia shot. I'll touch on that a little bit later. It is the attitude of the...
Let me start that over again.
The pneumonia shot is absolutely essential. In fact, it may just be the best thing since sliced bread. Of course, that's not what I really think, but I want to share with you a pretty crazy story, which really is emblematic of where the medical profession is. And it happened to me recently, and I'm not even making this video about the efficacy of the pneumonia shot. I'll touch on that a little bit later. It is the attitude of the doctor involved. So picture this. I am in a medical healthcare setting, and I'm there accompanying someone, and I happen to hear a healthcare conversation over the phone. It was happening not too far away from me. So there's a doctor who was speaking to a family member of a patient who was hospitalized. Fair enough, he was speaking over the phone, updating the family member on the situation of this patient who obviously had pneumonia. And I can only tell you what I was hearing from the end of the doctor. I wasn't party to the whole conversation, but the doctor was talking about the patient's progress and the fact that they had pneumonia. And then attention turned to the pneumonia shot. And the doctor said to the loved one that he noticed that the patient hadn't had the pneumonia shot. And then he went off on this whole diatribe on how important the pneumonia shot is to prevent hospitalization and severe illness from pneumonia. Let's leave aside any discussion on actual efficacy. But he hammered home this point about 3 or 4 times. This is the best thing that the patient could have done to prevent hospitalization. Must get pneumonia shot. Almost like they were programmed to say that. It was almost lines from their physician society. But anyway, then they got off the phone and I heard the conversation afterwards. The doctor started talking to someone else about this patient who was clearly very unwell with other illnesses, type 2 diabetes, I'm sure other metabolic diseases, obesity. And I thought to myself that this doctor did not say one word to the patient relative about metabolic health. No word about how that is obviously going to be a great protector against severe illness. If someone has severe diabetes, has significant obesity, excess body fat, work on probably reducing the insane amount of sugar, carb intake, processed food involved. Work on activity levels. And I'm not saying that they even needed to make that the main focus of the conversation. The fact is that this doctor did not even mention once anything about improving metabolic health.
Now, I just love this guy because he speaks the truth that you're not going to hear from your doctors. And he is a medical, he trained in UK as a medical doctor, came to the US, he's practicing here now, and he tells the truth. So, can you prevent pneumonia with a shot? Really? No, absolutely not, is what he's trying to say. And I say this from my own experience. Pneumonia was very prevalent during COVID. All of a sudden, people were going into the hospital with COVID, developed pneumonia. A friend of mine who took care of his mother for, I think it was like 2 or 3 years at home, elderly woman, she got so sick, he took her into the hospital. She developed pneumonia within a day. Everybody going, and she probably didn't get her pneumonia shot. So what is it about pneumonia that doctors think you can prevent it with a shot? Okay, let me go with Louise Hay. If you don't have this book, I highly recommend you get it for your own personal reference. It's been a godsend, whatever you want to call it. It's been a blessing for me and my clients that I did work with, to just share with them the wisdom, because it's the mental causes for physical illness and the metaphysical way to overcome them, meaning the emotional way to overcome them, the physical, mental connection way to overcome them. So what did she say about pneumonia? Because it helps us tap on these things when you refer to her wisdom. Pneumonia is caused by being desperate, tired of life, emotional wounds that are not allowed to heal. Whoever has not had emotional wound, but pneumonia shows up because of a weak immune system as well. Does he said metabolic health refers to the whole metabolism, how your body functions as a system. Is your brain working? Do you have healthy mental thoughts? Do you have healthy thoughts? Do you have healthy bowel movements? Do you digest things well? All of those are metabolic health that should be considered. Otherwise, when you're desperate, you're not processing your emotional wounds. Pneumonia could show up. Doesn't matter whether you have a shot or not, in my opinion. So what does she say? Heal this. New thought pattern, she calls it. New thought pattern in pneumonia is, I freely take in divine ideas that are filled with the breath and intelligence of life. This is a new moment. Oh, refresh, reboot. So if you're using EFT, which is the tapping, You can use these words or whatever words might come up for you to come out of the feeling of being desperate for money or relationships. I'm not there at all, thank goodness. But if you are, this is the tapping word you can use. I freely take in. You're alerting your meridians in your body. You're alerting every cell in your body. I freely take in divine ideas. That means nature, birds singing, music. I need music in my life. I'm going to put in more music. I'm going to go out and hug trees. I'm taking in divine ideas. Not I need to go get a pneumonia shot, but I need to go hug some trees. I need to go walk barefoot. I need to go to the beach. I freely take in divine ideas that are filled with the breath and intelligence of life. Birds are so intelligent. In fact, just aside, my grandson informed me of something I had no idea of. I put a bowl of water outside for the squirrels and whatever creatures show up at night. And I noticed one morning bread from the compost pile, which is several feet away, was in the water. And then one other morning, I wake up and there's avocado peels in there, banana peels are in the water. So I'm at the table with my grandson one morning. I said, I'm trying to figure out why do I have food showing up in my bowl of water? And he right away says, probably a raccoon because they rinse their food. I'm like, really? I didn't know that. I said, really? I said, let's just ask. And he said, well, we'll ask Google. And we did. And that's exactly what they told us, that the animals, raccoons, what kind of intelligence is that? Rinse their food before they eat it, I guess, to test it. Anyway, divine intelligence is what you might call that. When we understand things like that, they're rinsing their food before they eat it, a raccoon. I thought that was so, and he's only 9 years old, but he's super smart. Anyway, I'm learning to listen to grandchildren more than talk to them. Take in divine intelligence. I digress. I apologize. Take in divine ideas. I'm going to be more observant of raccoons' behavior, natural behavior. They walk around all night rinsing food and eating compost. And the breath and the intelligence, I am filled. The divine ideas like that are filled with the breath and intelligence of life. Doing exercise. The raccoons and squirrels exercise like crazy all day long. This is a new moment. Thank you. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Most High Yah, for new moments. So that's the sort of the prevention of pneumonia, is that we don't want to stay in a desperate mode, clench like this where the lungs, and we don't want to be half breathing, just not breathing. We want to take in deep breaths. That's going to really help the lungs function better so that pneumonia is not going to show up. And then, do we need a shot? That's up to you. Totally up to you. Your doctor. I'm suggesting today, if your doctor is pushing a pneumonia shot when you already have pneumonia, put up the hand and say, no, thank you. I'll do okay. I'll get out of here. I'm just going to start breathing. In fact, if you end up in a hospital, if you're not on a ventilator, if you can breathe, your fastest way out of a hospital, if you can do this, is just start conscious breathing all day long. Watch the nurses. And what are you doing? I'm breathing. I'm on my way out of here. Before you present it with more drugs, high blood pressure medication. Oh, I've seen it in the lives of people. It produces more high blood pressure. So just think about all the medication that doctors are prescribing. It's going to give you exactly what you don't want, more than likely. So I'm just saying, be careful, be thoughtful, mental exercise, intelligence with pneumonia. No desperation. If you're tired of life, you need to do new things. Play Scrabble, play chess. I highly recommend chess to understand the political games they're playing. Go outside more, find trees, lovely, go walk on the new things. That's how you prevent pneumonia. If you're tired of life in general, start thinking about you have everything you need. If you have a roof over your head and food in the refrigerator every day, somehow, then you have everything you need. You don't need a car if you have legs. Tired of life, emotional wounds that are not allowed to heal. My significant other had emotional wounds that were not allowed to heal, and he's transitioned and he's in peace now. So that's what happens. If you don't correct the emotional wounds, if you don't heal the emotional wounds, you'll be transitioning into perfect peace, which for me now is that's okay. It's okay. Transitioning in a peaceful state where your soul is not grieving and inflamed and impatient. Good job. Whatever age you've done it, you've done it. So pneumonia, do you need a pneumonia shot? It's totally up to you. I'm not controlling or forcing anybody, but let's look at all the side effects. I don't know what a pneumonia shot would do to my body. I would never risk it. I would just work on my breath. It's for me personally. So that's what Dr. Suneel advises. I would take his advice. Pay attention to your metabolic health. How is this system working for you? Are you in pain all the time? You need to do more joint rolling, maybe. You need to do more breath work. You need to eat less. Eating less will definitely help your pain. Trust me. If you think you're going to eat pain away, it's not going to happen. Because your body uses energy first and foremost to digest your food. Whatever you put in this mouth, the body's going to do work on that first. So if you got inflammation going everywhere, it's not going to deal with that until the food is going through and digested. And then if you have emotional issues, going to interfere with that. Eat less and work and move more, even if it's slow Tai Chi movement. So let's talk about what happens in a stroke situation. Too many people these days are having strokes because of the tension. It goes back to pneumonia, desperate for a change, desperate. I have people on my Facebook page that I may have to block who are just desperate for Trump to die and for Trump to go away. He's right. He actually, I saw a video yesterday that said JD Vance is actually the president now. What? Yeah, he's the acting president. Trump's sitting back in the back. Trump's going to sleep a lot lately. So don't worry. Things are going to change at their own pace. But don't be desperate about Trump going away. He will go away when it's time for him to go away. And guess who? JD Vance is next to show up. If you don't like him, you're going to catch pneumonia or some other stroke, or maybe calm down, take some deep breaths. Politics is a game of chess right now. Truly a game of chess. They're all playing us, really. And we should just either not watch the game and work on ourselves, or enjoy the game and learn something about political chess and multidimensional at that. Iran is all multidimensional chess. There are ETs involved, stargates involved. I'm fascinated by what's going on there. I'm saddened by all the murdering and killing that this regime is doing right now. It's horror. It's this regime, empire, whatever you want to call them. They're killing women and men, athletes, if they don't agree with them. That's kind of sad, but yet the lesson for us is to be more peaceful. Don't broadcast more violence, more hate, because that's not going to help the situation. But strokes are happening because people are so out of balance with their emotions. Their emotions. Here's a little teaching about what happens during a stroke, and then we're going to look at Louise Hay's wisdom about what's going on with strokes on the metaphysical level. But I love this little cartoonish, only about 4 minutes of what's going on with a stroke.
Every 2 seconds, someone somewhere in the world experiences a stroke, and 1 out of every 6 people will have one at some point in their lives. Strokes deprive brain cells of oxygen and are one of the most common causes of death and a leading cause of preventable disability. When someone experiences a stroke, quick medical care is critical and can often help avoid permanent brain damage. But what causes strokes in the first place, and what can doctors do to treat them? The brain makes up just 2% of your body's mass, but consumes more than 20% of the oxygen in your blood. That oxygen is carried to the brain through a system of arteries. Carotid arteries supply the front of the brain, and vertebral arteries supply the back. These are connected to each other and divide into smaller and smaller vessels that get billions of neurons the oxygen they need. If the blood flow is interrupted, oxygen delivery stops and brain cells die. There are two ways this can happen. Hemorrhagic strokes are when a perforated vessel allows blood to leak out. But the more common type is the ischemic stroke, when a clot blocks a vessel and brings blood flow to a halt. Where do these clots come from? On rare occasions, a sudden change in heart rhythm prevents the upper chambers of the heart from contracting normally. This slows down blood flow, allowing platelets, clotting factors, and fibrin to stick together. The clot can be carried up towards the arteries and blood vessels supplying the brain, until it gets to one it can't squeeze through. This is called an embolism, and it cuts off the oxygen supply to all the cells downstream. The brain doesn't have pain receptors, so you can't feel the blockage itself. But oxygen deprivation slows brain function and can have sudden, noticeable effects. For example, if the affected area is responsible for speech, an individual's words may be slurred. If the stroke affects a part of the brain that controls muscle movement, it can cause weakness, often just on one side of the body. When this happens, the body will immediately try to compensate by diverting blood flow to the affected area, but this isn't a perfect solution. Eventually, the oxygen-deprived cells will start to die, leading to brain damage that may be severe or permanent. That's why it's important to get medical care as fast as possible. The first line of treatment is an intravenous medication called tissue plasminogen activator, which can break up the blood clot and allow blood to flow again in the compromised artery. If it's delivered within a few hours, this medication greatly increases the chance of surviving the stroke and avoiding permanent consequences. If tissue plasminogen activator cannot be given because the patient is on certain medications, has history of major bleeding, or the clot is particularly large, doctors can perform a procedure called an endovascular thrombectomy. Using a fluorescent dye that illuminates the blood vessels under a strong X-ray, the physician inserts a long, thin, flexible tube called a catheter into an artery in the leg and maneuvers it all the way to the blockage. A retriever is passed through this catheter. It expands and anchors into the clot when it's just past it. The catheter then pulls the clot out when it's removed. These treatments need to be delivered as soon as possible to preserve brain function, which means figuring out fast if someone is having a stroke. So how can you tell? Here are 3 quick things to try. 1. Ask the person to smile. A crooked mouth or facial drooping can indicate muscle weakness. 2. Ask them to raise their arms. If one drifts downward, that arm weakness is also a sign of a stroke. 3. Ask them to repeat a simple word or phrase. If their speech sounds slurred or strange, it could mean that the language area of their brain is oxygen deprived. This is sometimes called the FAST test, and the T stands for time. If you see any of those signs, call emergency services right away. Lives may depend on it. We're on a nonprofit mission to revolutionize education.
Wow, that's enough to make me prevent in strong ways. So, can we prevent all that chaos with the medical system? I want to give an applause for the emergency medical system in the United States. Is number one. They have ways to keep you alive after you made some bad choices. Let's say you make choices in your life that you end up having a catheter put up your penis or wherever. You have made some choices that need to change, I would say. So I hope that video inspires you to start working on prevention. How do we do that? I don't want to ever end up like that. So I'm just so focused on keeping the best energy going, flowing. As he said, the heart rhythm becomes affected before a stroke. Your heart chakra becomes affected before the stroke. So what does it mean? Guard your heart. Guard your heart. Louise Hay says that a stroke means giving up, resistance, rather die than change, and rejection of life. Thank you. The bird is singing away. Sing away. Go ahead. The birds are active again. Let me read that one more time. This is your key to prevent strokes. If you are giving up, resistant, rather die than change, or rejection of life, stroke is on the way. If those things are active in your life, you're on a path to stroke and catheters in whatever part of your body. Again, pause. The United States medical emergency system is the best. Thank you. It's the best on the planet. And so we can appreciate the corrections that are made when we make bad choices. But the side effects, you're going to have to deal with the side effects. So what are the thought patterns that need to change to prevent the condition we just watched of slurred feet and no rhythm, heart rhythm is off, and your whole side goes paralyzed because you've been doing all these things out of balance with love for yourself. So the pattern for tapping, I'm all for EFT tapping. Life is change. Change is the only thing that is constant, they say. Change. So anytime you're resisting change, whether it's a relationship with your grandchildren, I had to change my way of relating to my grandchildren. No more lecturing. I'm the authority. You listen to me. Forget it. I'm listening more. Oh, raccoons? Really? You know about raccoons? Tell me about raccoons. These kids know more than I do, so I'm listening more. Life is change. Okay. So we have to be open to change everything and anything that we've been doing in the past if it's not in balance with love and peace inside of us and other people. And life is change, and I adapt easily to the new. We were talking about this morning how my son uses in his job, he has to use AI a lot. He has to organize data for a power company, a company that produces power machines or solar power, or not solar power, but power machines. And he has to adapt the data to help his coworkers understand what they needs to change. Okay, he has to work with that all the time. So he's talking about how often he has to spend with AI to take the data, accumulate it, and put it in a way that everyone can understand. So he's constantly, and so my grandson, when we talked about using your signature, my grandson said, well, all you have to do, we were talking about using cursive. And he said, well, you need cursive to sign a contract. This is a 9-year-old telling me this. You need to write cursive to approve a contract. And his dad was saying, well, no, you don't, because now you can use Face ID, you can use print ID, you can use other forms of ID to affirm a contract instead of your signature. So we had this conversation this morning where my grandson learned now that the options for approving a contract, he even brought up, well, what if you have $1 million contract you have to sign or approve, or a check, or you have to sign for $1 million check. And my son had to explain to him, well, in his world, AI runs everything. You don't have to sign, just your face recognition, face ID, hand ID, don't need to sign. So change. And my son was explaining, if you don't adapt to these changes, you're going to lose your job. So we're teaching this 9-year-old about options now that change the way you thought cursive. You thought you just need to sign your name. Nah, they don't have to do that anymore. Well, if you're on a computer, you have to sign a document, that Face ID, they have options now. So change, preventing a stroke is about adapting to change. And so I can't do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. It's like even at the grocery store self checkout. We're going to that where you may not even see people ringing you up in the future. And some people are resistant to self checkout. Well, I want somebody to check my groceries for me. Well, what happens when they don't, when they go, that goes away? Fewer and fewer people at Whole Foods, for instance, are using a live person to check them out. Sometimes they're not even available. All you have is self checkout. So, how do you adapt to that change? Do you go, well, I'm going to stand here and cry until somebody comes to check me out? It's a stroke waiting to happen. Okay, so life has changed. I adapt easily to the new, whether it's self checkout, face ID, thumb ID. It's adapting because eventually that's all there, the choices you're going to have. If you don't adapt to the change, you're going to be left behind and no job and frustrated and and restricting the flow of the heart. The heart is going to have to change with the times. And also, I accept life, past, present, and future. Let us tap together on this one. I accept life, past, present, and future. I accept it. Acceptance is huge to prevent a stroke, in my opinion. Because when you're looking at the past and saying, I don't like the way my parents raised me, I don't like the way I was treated. My significant other was sad about why his parents gave him to his aunt who abused him, and his life, his whole life, he was like, why did they give me away? I don't understand why they gave me away. Acceptance, just acceptance. You know why parents give their children away? Because that's what they were raised to think and do. I can't handle it, because our parents weren't perfect and they had the imperfect training of grandparents. There's so many reasons why parents do what they do, right? And if we don't accept, I accept life, past, present. I accept the fact that I now live in this situation. I'm living in my car now, for instance. And I'm not going to be frustrated every day. I'm so frustrated. I don't like this car. I hate this car. Well, what are you going to do about it? I don't know, but I hate this car. Stroke's going to happen soon. That's the way I see this. And so I accept life, past, present, and future. We're looking at a lot of AI in the future that's going to change the way we live. So it's either use it or ignore it if you don't need it, but don't get frustrated about it because change is here and the past is gone. We can't change the past, unfortunately. And so I had an alcoholic mother most of my young life. I felt such sadness most of the time, and I had pain in one area of my body, my right leg, for a long time. And I finally, working on me myself, tapping, especially, I accept the past, present, and future type tapping. I finally see my mother with pure love, no regrets, no anger, no sadness, because her story, it was all about the training she got from her parents, which I didn't know a lot about. I know she was a preacher's kid. That's all I know. And that messes people up a lot. But her husband, my dad, had an affair with a woman in New York because he was a famous football player, and she read about it in Jetna. I thought about all of the activity in her brain that caused her to use alcohol as her comfort. And that was totally normal behavior for her. And I learned from that I don't want to use anything for comfort that's not going to bring joy to me and strength to my body and happy lifestyle and acceptance. So remember this tapping. If you're at all frustrated, giving up, thinking of giving up, resisting, if you're resisting things all the time, I don't like the way this is going, I don't like the way this is going, I don't know, resisting, rather die than change, rejection of life in general. To get out of that energy, start tapping on I accept life, past, present, and future. I accept life because it's going to bring my heart rhythm back to normal. Because remember, the stroke is, if you saw that video, the system gets totally out of whack. The blood's flowing one way and this way and that way. The system gets totally out of balance before a stroke, because these things are going on. Resistance, I don't like this, I'm complaining all the time. Your stroke's getting ready to happen. This 45-year-old man who just recently had a stroke, he was in the facility, and his family's gonna have to take care of him now. He didn't like his life. He was drinking, he was eating poorly, he had a job that he didn't like. I'm learning little bits and things about. And so he was in this cycle of low energy, not happy, not accepting, not surrendering to the present moment with joy and peace. Stroke happens. The body can't help but give you a stroke when you're completely or all consistently complaining and in sadness, fear, anger, and hatred. That's my personal analysis. Your body will give you a stroke, which is what you need. Obviously, if you get it, that's what you need. You created it. Really, we create a stroke when we all the time resisting change, giving up on everything in life, whatever, rather die than change. Reflections of life. In fact, let me tell you a little story about that. When I think of I'd rather die than change, my Uncle Bob, I tell this story I think before, was losing weight. His wife was helping him lose weight. He was really overweight. His wife was helping him lose weight. And he was at a picnic with my dad was there. We were all there at a family picnic. And my dad was talking to him about what I do health-wise and energy-wise. And he told my dad this. He said, I'd rather die than change. And my dad told me what he said later. I said, oh, okay. Not long after that, he went to, this is a story I heard. He went to a Christmas party with his wife, ate a Polish sausage or some heavy meat meal. And he went home, threw it up, and had a stroke and died. I mean, immediately. So this is real in my life. I'd rather die than change. When your spouse is working hard to help you get your weight off, to improve your health, and you're thinking in your mind, I'd rather die than eat this crappy food, eat salads all day and walk and do what I'm doing. Because I'm so used to sitting at the TV with the remote and enjoying myself and being comforted by my Polish sausage, hot dog, whatever. I'd rather die than change. And he did. He really did. So we're going to create what we think and what we speak. I want you to live a healthy, whole life and create peace, because the world needs it. If we look on a global scale, what do we need most is peace. My goodness. War in Venezuela, war in the Middle East, war in the city of Chicago. The kids are taking over in Chicago from what I hear because of disorder and the resistance to change. How about we be more disciplined in Chicago and with the parents take over or something? I don't know. Something needs to happen in Chicago. All I'm getting is a lot of bad news about what's happening in Chicago, my hometown. But I just send love to Chicago, and the Female Solution is a great force of change and peace and love and wisdom that's working there. But let us individually, I am following the Prince of Peace, the venerable monk Panakara, he's in Fort Worth now, who walked for 112 days, 2,000 miles from Texas to DC. Who does that? Prince of Peace. That's who he is. That's how I call him. So every day, if we follow his instructions, we can make a change in this world. It starts with us. It starts with us. We are not going to change the government or the world if we don't work on this vessel here first and bring peace. So every morning, I've got my family is doing this every morning. We're enjoying miracles and all kinds of things. We're having healthy conversations. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Write it out. You're going to have to write it out. There's no typing. We want your hands involved. Today is going to be my peaceful day. And you can cursive write, print, And then when you see that, you speak it out. Today is going to be my peaceful day. I do a little routine. I say, I give it up to the universe. Today is going to be my peaceful day. I'm just letting you know, angels, messengers, and today is going. You make a declaration with your mouth and your brain. Today is going to be my peaceful day. Boom, it's going to happen. It's going to happen because we are at such a place in our history where the angels and messengers are so wanting to help us get out of this confusion and division and rut that we're in America and everywhere else. Today is going to be my peaceful day, and we'll see change happen gradually in the world. When more the collective energy increases, more people are doing that. So I encourage you to please do that so we can change this world. So let me see. If this has been helpful to you, you're welcome to send a donation to my Cash App, Dollar Vieta Robinson. I'm always welcoming donations so I can buy a little extra. I'm on a strict budget with Social Security and one other little fund that comes in. And that's it. I manage well. I am helping a friend who's paying me. Actually, I'm so blessed to have friends I can help raise their consciousness, to get rid of fear, worry, and doubt. My friend is in her 70s. She's moving into an assisted living place from a big house. Lots of anxiety around that. Oh my goodness. I'm there as a peace element. So she gives me a little money every time I come. So that helps. But I'm here every Friday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday to help you raise your consciousness and hopefully bring you more peace. So Cash App, Dollar Vieta Robinson. And I have books that can help you, ebooks. I'm thinking about printing these books because I understand a lot of people would rather have a paperback. But if you want to just get the wisdom and experience that I have with my book, From Fear to Faith and the Master Design, is all about preventing cancer. And all the people who showed me it's $8 to Cash App. Or my book, I have an ebook on tiny house living. And of course, every Wednesday I highlight my vegetable soup for women book that I wrote with other people. And my website, yourholisticlifecoach.com, can help you learn a little bit more about me if you're wondering, who the hell are you? But I am just blessed to be here and have good health that I can share with you. I'm on no medications. That's why I really do preach and teach why it's good to not be on pharmaceuticals, because the side effects, I'm observing the side effects in all the people I know who are on them. They think they're getting rid of their high blood pressure. Then they go into the doctor and say, my blood pressure is still up. What do I do? And the doctor said, let me give you another prescription. I think that's insanity. But I don't say that anymore because people got to learn their own lessons. Hopefully you're learning that having another prescription for the same problem is not a wise thing to do. But people are learning on their own, and I'm just going to keep growing here, keep taking the best care I can so I can keep up with my 9-year-old grandchild, and my 11-year-old, teach her how to take better care of herself. So this is the information for you about my books and my website. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm looking for new music for my tiny house video because they're bothering me about copyright after all these years. This music I was playing, they claim. I don't worry about it too much. When I dispute it, it usually goes away. They don't come back and challenge me. It just takes time, which I'm willing to do because I find music I like and I want to share it with you. That's the way it goes. Okay, so we're done for the day. 10:11. That's a good number. 10:11 to end on. That's a 3. And I hope this has been helpful for you. Everybody go out and get some sun, please. Namaste. Satnam. Ashe, Ashe, O. Aho, Aho, Aho. Saluting all my brothers, sisters, friends, relatives all over the world. I'm gaining a lot of friends from Iran because there are a lot of Americans in from Iran in America that I'm on my Facebook. I didn't realize, and I'm learning all about the torture that's going on from them, which is so sad. But I'm just doing what I can to end that torture from my perspective, and that's to be peaceful. So believe me, there's a lot of problems going on in Iran that we don't hear about. And the worst part is, here's the thing. I'm watching this woman talk about reptilians. She says most of the people on this planet are reptilians. The people who are killing and murdering in Iran, reptilians. That's why dropping a bomb on them doesn't bother me. If they target the reptilians, and most of the people who are being killed by the empire or the regime are living outside and they're going searching for them, drop a bomb on the reptilians. Let's get rid of these creatures. And there's a lot of them in our government. You can see them. I think most of the warmongers who only talk about war, they're probably reptilians. So just take care of you. If you're not a reptilian, you know how to build the love within. Do it. Please do it. Work on just building the peace and love in here, and we can change. There are more of us. Here's the thing I believe. There are more of us in the United States, in the world even, who want peace, love, and happiness. So we just got to rise up and activate and broadcast that from here. Not broadcast Trump derangement syndrome. We don't need that anymore. He's a puppet. He's got to do what he's got to do. He's here to do a job. And by the way, if you didn't hear, J.D. Vance is actually the president right now. Don't tell anybody. I heard that from a very reputable source. He thinks that's what's going on, and Trump's just taking naps in meetings. So it's a great show. Whatever you just enjoy the show. Pass the popcorn. Don't worry about Trump and any. It's a great show. If you protect yourself with Psalms 91, he who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of Yahuwah, my refuge and my strength. You are my protector. Boom. Don't worry about anything else. Just keep that energy of love and protection around you every day. Psalm 91. I read it almost every day now, just to remind me who is protecting me everywhere I go. Angels, ancestors, thank you, messengers, bees everywhere I go. Just do it. Do it. Get in touch with nature now. Now's the time more than ever. If trees are still green in your area, that means they're calling you to come and give them a hug. Go give those trees a hug. Walk barefoot as much as you can. Just build up this temple as much as you can while you're here. You won't be here for long. And then you'll be in total peace. Oh, that's a day that I'm not rushing toward it, but when it happens, hey, let's do it. And I do have a comment here. Let's see, who is this? Tina. Thank you, Tina, for joining us. She says, God bless you, Dr. V, and the same to you. Blessings to Tina. Thank you for joining me. Spread the word, spread the word. Spread the word. Love, love, love. Love, peace, loving kindness. Everybody have loving kindness, peace, love in your heart, and we'll do this. We'll change the world. Shalom. Share this with your friends and stay in peace. Here we go.